That infrastructure plan also recommends ways to combat climate change, which is obviously a huge issue for Florida lawmakers.
Yeah, absolutely, Veronica. And lawmakers up here from the Florida delegation, they really believe that they will be able to do something on the environment. Now, the House of Representatives, which is controlled by Democrats, they've held about 20 different hearings relating to climate change. There's been legislation that is seeking to lower emissions, trying to do something about a lot of these regulations that are being rolled back by the Trump administration. But so far, really nothing has been done on this. There really has been no consensus that could pass the Democratic-controlled House and the Republican-controlled Senate. But Florida lawmakers really aren't giving up, and this is something that both sides of the aisle really feel that they're able to do.
As we draft climate solutions, we are going to do everything we can to make them bipartisan. The problem here on Capitol Hill is the fossil fuel companies have so much influence and power. And while a lot of Republicans talk about climate change and wanting to do something, they're not voting that way yet. So until they vote that way and join us on real climate solutions, then the jury's out, unfortunately.
I do believe that there are Republicans increasingly looking to innovation as a strategy to deal with our environmental challenges. Garrett Graves recently worked with Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy to release legislation on that front. I've released a Green Real Deal to put broadly supported issues before the Congress so that we could advance the ball on climate change. And we can do that without putting the government in charge of everyone's lives.
So the reality of all of this is an election year, and oftentimes both sides really have found it to be very difficult to come together and, produce some meaningful legislation. But of course, you got to give it to those Florida lawmakers who are really optimistic. They want to see something accomplished this year. We'll send it back to you, Veronica.
Samantha-Jo live for us in Washington, D.C. with the latest.